Jordan.
My second half scene is a boxing movie. I watched two movies that had boxing in them this week, and one. So okay, this one is much lower than the other one on the list, and I think they should be swapped.
Hey, look, man, I don't disagree.
Uh, this is Rocky. I watched Rocky.
But
His name is Sylvester Stallone. He's the star of a new film called Rocky. He's been described as tough, handsome, talented, sexy, sensitive, dynamic, brilliant. He's been compared to Nicholson, De Niro, and Brando, but he is Rocky.
Um, it it's at like number 78 or something like that on the list. And the next one that I'm going to be talking about, which is also boxing, is at like 25.
which is also is,
And,
is
and I'm just like, that's insane. But Rocky is really good.
Rocky's really good.
And I'll be referencing back to it when I'm talking about the next one. But Rocky is just a really solid character piece of we're following this. I mean, you've all seen Rocky. I don't need to do the plot details, but
He's a low
it's
class thug enforcer.
low cast thug enforcer boxer,
You know
who
you know
has
he's
never
bad.
really
You know he's bad
who's
because he's
never
smoking a cigarette.
who's never really gotten the chance to go big.
Nope.
Um,
And everyone's a dick to
and
him.
and he's an idiot.
And he's simple, Jordan. He's a simple fellow. He's not a bright guy because he took a lot of blows to the head.
That's what I said. He's an idiot.
Yeah. He.
Um, there's things in this movie where it's like that's problematic by today's standard.
Oh man, yeah. His first date with Adrian is so problematic. Her consent is dubious at best and makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, where it's like she doesn't want to go into his apartment and he pressures her.
He pressures her.
Um,
Then he physically
and then
intimidates her.
and then he's like, come sit down, and she doesn't want to. And she's like, I'm gonna go, and he's like, no, you can't leave. And like he gets up and like pins her against the wall as he shuts the door and locks it so she can't leave.
I don't feel comfortable.
At your age, I ain't so comfortable either.
I should go.
Don't go, please. Don't go. Don't go. Don't go. Don't go. Do me a favor.
And then pressures her into kissing him.
Right, and then like
And
the next scene, she's like an entirely different character. It's like the one
kind
criticism I have about this movie.
kind of, but not really. She's not really truly a different character until she finally stands up to her brother.
He was a piece of
That's
shit.
when she like really switches and is then like confident and believing in herself. But like until she does, she's still like a little bit withdrawn, but not around Rocky. It's like a Rocky is able to get the real her, and
Fair.
then the rest of the time she still is like down on herself. And then her brother, who is a piece of shit,
He's just a piece of shit.
yeah, like goes off the rails and has like a breakdown, and that's where she stands up to him. And then after that, she's like confident. But
He's a piece of shit that Rocky need to beat the crap out of. To teach him he needed to be taught a lesson. He's got too much hubris for a guy who's a piece of shit. He's got too much ego, undeserved ego, and the movie never punishes him for it. It's really frustrating. Like it teaches it. The movie treats it as though he's being wronged when he's not. Like
Yeah.
Rocky owes him nothing.
Now that being said, the fight scenes in this one are good. They're fun.
Yeah,
Although
well
I found as I was watching it, I was just like, man, Rocky, come on! I don't box, and even I know hold your arms in front of your face.
Gotta block those shots,
Like
Rocky.
you gotta put your hands in front of your face.
You can't specifically let them hit you in the face. That's the whole point of this.
And so like yeah,
But that's kind
it
of
gets
the
to
bit
the
though.
point.
He's supposed to be. That's why Mickey hates him. Is because he's a shitty boxer. That's kind of the whole bit.
Um,
He's not supposed to
Sure.
be an exceptionally good boxer. That's kind of the whole. That's the kind of the whole gag. That's why Apollo chooses him.
I mean, no, Apollo chooses him because of his name, the Italian stallion, and he knows that it has marketability.
Yeah,
That's why that's why he chooses him. It has nothing to do with the fighting.
well, it's also he's supposed
Which is also why when Apollo Creed goes into the fight, he doesn't take him remotely seriously, and Rocky like knocks him to the
yeah,
ground.
because the idea is that Apollo is like a paper champion, and like yeah, he's basically Rocky is just there to lose. He's like not even necessarily a paper, maybe a glass champion, but yeah, he's just there to lose and make Apollo look good. Like that's what he's there to do. He's not supposed to win. He's not supposed to give Apollo a fight. And like
That's why I said he's there for marketability. That's it.
well, he was selected for marketability. He's just there to be a body, like is what I would say. Like he specifically was selected for marketability, but the concept of the fight is just to make Apollo look good. Like he could be anybody.
Yeah, well, I mean, because Apollo did want to have a good, proper fight with a high person who is like up on the list, but none of them could do it in the short turnaround that was needed, and so
Right.
that's why he then was like, well, okay, then at that point we'll make it a stunt.
And Carl Weathers, man, Carl Weathers is so good in this movie. I love the fact that the main boxer is a person of color, is a black guy. And like spoiler alert, big old spoiler alert for a decades old movie. I love the fact that Rocky loses. I said it
Yeah.
earlier, but it makes it all the more satisfying when he finally wins in the next one. Like it makes it makes it all the more like rewarding when he finally does win, and it's just a really good fight. And yeah, like you said, it's well shot. All the performances are good. Mickey's a dick. Rocky's indignation is totally warranted. Where he's like, "You didn't want me. The only reason why you want me now is because I've got this shot. Like this is completely disingenuous. You don't want to protect me from anything."
Stink? That's right, it stinks!
I ain't no favors from you. Don't fall around me.
Talk about your pride.
What about my pride, Mick? At least you had a pride. I ain't had no pride. I ain't had nothing.
I'd be like, "Fuck
Yeah, you don't
shove it
you
under-
don't give a shit.
Right, you don't care. Like you only care because of the attention I can bring to your gym by you being my trainer. That's the only reason why you want to be my trainer. It's not for any like altruistic or value. You don't value me as a person. Like we were like he's an asshole to him the whole movie. He's never nice to him once until he can use him.
And then my favorite part is, or one of my favorite parts, is when he's with the news person. I was making fun of this as I was watching it. He's with the news lady or whatever in the meat locker, like doing the
This is really unsanitary.
and I'm just like, and news is now recording how this unsanitary practice is happening. This place will immediately, of course, be shut down after this.
The fighters pound raw meat.
No, I think I invented it.
Would you
Don't
give us a
forget to
demonstration?
confirm the reservation
Sure.
for our people at ringside. And be sure to fly my barber to Philly. For the people of How much is being channeled into West Coast closed circuit advertising?
You know, it's funny.
They are serving this to the public.
To be fair, that might predate food safety laws.
That's a good point, actually. I hadn't thought of that.
But yeah, yeah. No, the other thing we have to mention this the soundtrack. The soundtrack is iconic. It's just
Da da da.
1970s. Yeah, Come Fly With Me Now is one of the most
Da da da.
iconic pieces of orchestral music ever.
Da 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 da.
The extended version where you got the guitar solo is just so fucking good. It's just such a good movie. Yeah, man. Written by Sylvester Stallone. He had an absolute. I think he like mortgaged. He was like broke when he made it. He like had to mortgage something or sell something. Like just utterly incredible. One of my all-time favorite movies. Maybe my favorite boxing movie. Probably my favorite boxing movie. I don't know because I really like Rocky 3 and 4. Those are my favorite. I think those are my favorite Rocky movies. But just really good. Jordan, what else do you have to say about Rocky?
It had a budget of $1,100,000 and it had a box office of 225 million.
Big hit.
And it absolutely deserves to be on the list. Apparently, it was. I was reading something about in 2006, Library of Congress selected Rocky for preservation in the United States National Film Registry as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant.
It's usually how these things wind up on this list. Is they get added to the Library of Congress like that. Jordan, is that
Also, the sequel came out in 1979.
All right. The sequel is also very good.
That's Rocky.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find a reason to watch Rocky 2 for this show because I love Rocky 2. Rocky 2, also a phenomenal movie, just so gosh darn good.
Hey everybody, it's N-Card Just here again, and yeah, alright, I really like the Rocky movies, but let me know down in the comments if you like the Rocky movies, which is your favorite Rocky movie. Mine is probably 3 or 4, but I'm honestly not sure, but let me know. Also, if you would like to see the full podcast that this video is from, you can click the video on the left, where we talked about the top 100 greatest movies of all time, including Citizen Kane and Pulp Fiction, and many other movies, or you can click the video on the right, and that's going to take you to a random video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy. Otherwise, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and if you would, leave us a like, it really helps us out. Have a good day, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.